I'm just honored to be here, man. Just still be playing, and it's. I appreciate being able to play this long. I mean, careers normally don't last this long, and so I really, really appreciate the opportunity to still be out there playing and performing and doing what I do.
You've always been able to score since being a rookie. Mentioned in '97, you scored 33 against Jordan in the Bulls. Is that what you're thinking about now? Just the longevity to be able to last this long? 36 years old, 19 years, all of the hours that you put in off the court, all the people that have helped you along the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's been such an evolution, and now I appreciate the game even more. Because it has a certain finality to it. It's like when moments like this come around, you're really overjoyed by it. At the same time, that the end is is pretty near. Which is fine too.
Jordan released a statement congratulating you to the AP. I'm expecting at some point you'll hear from him. I know you talk a lot. What do you think that conversation is like? What does he say?
No, I mean it's I'm sure it's the same as always. I mean it's just congratulations, and he knows how much I've learned from him and from the other legends, and him in particular. So I mean, a conversation with it always is. It's just fun and old stories and things like that.
And I mentioned this walking off the court. Magic had the statement now calling you a top 5 player of all time. And is that part of this whole thing too for you? Because those are the legends that you learn from and try to embrace that.
That's the most important thing to me. I think is playing for that. Is playing for the respect of the greats and feeling like I'm a part of that culture, and a part of that brotherhood.
What was that moment like for you when you finally did pass Jordan? You knew it was coming for a long time, but what was the emotion like?
It was different. I mean, I'm so used to being the villain all the time on the road. It took a minute to kind of adjust, but I gotta say, it really felt good to be appreciated like that.
Was it more than you expected? Did it feel like it meant more to you than you anticipated?
Yeah, it did. Like I said, I'm used to being the villain, man. So it's like, you have moments like that. It's like, when you're not expecting a hug and you get a hug and you're like, man, this actually feels pretty damn good.
Did you know they were going to stop the game? Did you know any of that?
No, I got a little warning before the game. During the game, I completely forgot about it. And I was kind of backpedaling a little bit, and then the game stopped, and I was like, oh, this is all right. It was just a class move by them.
Were you hoping to get it on the turnaround from the right baseline?
I was hoping to get a rhythm going, period. It was a little tough start for me. Legs really weren't into it. So I was just kind of looking to get something going. Turn around, no turn around, no matter.
When you went to the free throw line, did you know that you were 2 away from passing it?
Yeah, I can count.
Well, how did those free throws, did it feel any heavier just becoming the moment and everything, knowing that you got to...
Man, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. You get up there and you're like, dude, the crowd's really waiting to see you score 9 points, so don't F this up. It's completely killed the moment,
What's the process that's going into affecting fadeaway?
Repetition. A lot of repetition, and it's I learned a lot of it from Michael in terms of technique and a lot from Keem. It's same type of shot, but different footwork. So each situation calls for different things, but them two are the ones that I've really learned the most from in terms of that fall away.
Byron was saying before the game that you even brought in James Worthy this year. More stuff. What's come out of that?
Positioning, more footwork, angles, spin move. I enjoy learning, man. It's just, it's fun. It's fun to constantly try to figure out new things and figure out things to do better. And very blessed to be with the organization where you have some of the greats of all time sitting right there, So at any given moment, you call them up and they'll come to practice and they work with you. I mean, that's especially players that I grew up watching. You know what I mean? Like Big Game James and Baby B, and, AC, the Jerry Curley, and all these guys, Cap. You know.
Kobe, did it mean anything extra, getting the record or passing Michael, but then also performing the way you did down the stretch, hitting some big shots to help the team win as well?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good to kind of have my legs show up a little bit in the fourth quarter and make a shot at the end of the ball game. So, yeah, it did feel good to help us get over the line a little bit.
You mentioned being a villain in the road. Most of the time that's how you are, right? You've sort of had to embrace being a villain recently, right? You've done it at practice the other day. Is that something you go to sometimes? Is that this persona that you have to be?
Man, when it comes to basketball, man, that's just what I am naturally. That's what I am naturally. It's I think the competitive nature is something that frightens a lot of people when you peel back truly what's inside of a person to compete and be at that high level. It scares a lot of people that are comfortable just being average. And I think if you look at Michael's retirement speech, people really got a chance to see how he ticks. And it scared a lot of people, right? And but that's just the reality of it. You can't get to a supreme level without kind of channeling the dark side a little bit.
When you're the villain, though, you may not get that Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera victory lap of a retirement year, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're like Derek and I are different people. Like, so he hides it a lot better. But I guarantee you, our competitive spirit is exactly the same. he just hides it better.
Kobe, how do you
or chooses to hide it? I don't choose that.
How do you define the art of scoring from as you grew up in the game, from the footwork, the actual shot technique, release, working on it and adding to it over the years? How would you summarize how you've been able to do that and score that many points?
Fundamentals. I think when I grew up watching Michael play, I think my generation saw the highlights and they saw a lot of the fancy stuff. What I saw was his footwork. I saw the spacing. I saw the timing. I saw the fundamentals of the game that enabled him to get to the rim and do that. And I think that's what scoring really is. You got to be fundamentally sound.
Is that just work? Is that the only way to get that? I mean, you got talent, size, and all that, but is that?
You got to pay attention to detail. And you got to love what you do too. I mean, I love what I do. So it doesn't feel like I've worked a day in my life. I just love the learning. I love the challenge of it all.